Assalamu alaikum, guys. Welcome to another episode of Untitled Chapter. So, inshallah, in this episode, we will be making dinner rolls. I love making this, and I'm sure you guys will love it too. It's simple and delicious. So, let's get started. So, these are the ingredients we'll be using. Down below in the description box, I'm actually going to leave the English translation of the measurements. So definitely check that out. So what we have here is water, salt, yeast, sugar, milk, that is, and one egg, butter, and of course our flour. So we will first start by activating our yeast. So we're going to pour in our yeast there into a lukewarm water, a little bit of sugar. So that's about 1/4 of a teaspoon. And we're just going to stir all that together till it gets all foamy. So that's going to take about 5 to 10 minutes. Once it does foam up, so that's what we're looking for. It's going to look like that when it foams. So we're going to pour that into our bowl, and then we are just going to mix all of that together. So there is our salt. We're going to put in our sugar, our milk, egg, and our melted butter. So make sure your egg is actually at room temperature. That actually helps with the rising process, as well as lukewarm milk. And then there we have our melted butter. So here I'm using unsalted butter, but definitely you can use salted butter as well. So go ahead and whisk all of that together very well. Make sure it's mixed well together. And then from there, we are going to add our flour. So with the flour, we're actually not going to dump all that in all at the same time. We're going to add our flour in a little bit at a time. So here I'm starting with just basically adding about 2 cups of flour. I'm going to stir all that together using a fork. You can use your hands as well. We're going to just continue mixing that, keep adding the flour a little bit at a time, and just use the fork. And then eventually, inshallah, we are actually going to be using our hands because the fork is not sufficient with the mixing. So go ahead and use your hands. So as you could see, we want our dough to be well combined. So we are just going to continue adding the flour till we get the consistency that we need. So go ahead and mix that. So that's going to take you a few minutes to do that. But once you do it, we're going to actually transfer that dough mixture onto our surface, and we're going to knead it. So just knead it till you get the consistency that we want. So we do not want it to be hard. So obviously do not add too much flour. Just adjust it to the amount that you need. Add a little bit of oil on there because it definitely is very sticky, and that's what we want. We want it to be sticky, yeah? And it'll just help with kneading it a little better. So once we have it kneaded, we're going to just form a little ball, and then we're going to transfer that onto a bowl. So apply a little bit of butter or oil onto the dough, place it onto the bowl, and then we're going to cover it with saran wrap or even just a lid. Put it aside and have it rise. So it's going to take about 1.5 to 2 hours, but depending on how warm the area that you leave it. So basically for me it took 2 hours because it's really cold over here and it's winter. So it took 2 hours for mine to rise up, but we're just going to punch it through to basically get rid of all that air bubbles. We're going to add a little bit of flour onto our surface and transfer our dough onto there. So here we are going to basically split our dough into 2 portions. So like I was saying, we're going to divide the dough into 2 equal portions. Once we do that, we're going to shape each portion into a ball. So that's what we're looking for. And even like with the consistency, like I was saying, that's how we want it to feel. So it's not hard, and it's not too sticky. It's just perfect. So here we're going to roll each dough ball out on a lightly surfaced counter here, like we have, into a large circle. So basically as if you're making like a pizza. So we want it to be nice and round, and this will just help us get the shape that we want. So here we're trying to make like a croissant shape. So in order to do that, we need it to be we need to roll up our dough into a fine circle. So don't make it too thin, so don't roll it out too much. It still needs to be a little bit thicker. So using a knife or a pizza cutter, like what I'm doing here, cut the rolled out dough into pizza slices. So that's what we need to do here. So here I'm cutting it into like 16 slices. So it's going to be like there what we have. And then from there, we're going to actually brush some butter onto each slice. So make sure you have a sufficient amount of butter on all the slices. This will just kind of like enhance the taste. And from here, we are going to start rolling into the shape that we want. And here, the shape that we're doing is like a croissant shape. So it's going to be small, and make sure also that when you're rolling it and we're placing it on the pan, we need the end part, the pointy part, to actually be facing down. So when it rises, it doesn't like open up. So I'm actually going to show you here. I'm actually doing it in slow motion, but here, like I was saying, the end part needs to be facing down. So from there, here we have our oven pan that we're putting in there. So we need to brush butter on the baking pan, and then from there we are going to place each of our bread rolls. So we're going to place each roll till we have all of them. So we're going to do the same thing with the second the dough that we have there. So this is how it's going to look like. So we're going to put it aside, and then we need it to rise again for another 30 to 45 minutes. And from here, so after it has risen, we're going to put it in a preheated oven of 350 degrees, and then have it bake for about 15 to 20 minutes. So depending on the temperature of your oven, check on it after like about 15 minutes. We want it to be nice and golden. Once we have it out, we're going to brush some butter on there. Again, that's just going to prevent it from drying, as well as just kind of like it tastes a lot better as well. So here, if you were using salted butter, it would taste a lot better. And here is our final product, you guys. Honestly, it was so simple. It took some time in terms of, the rising. You needed to rise twice. But this is our end product. And mashallah, look how amazing it looks. Definitely try it out. I definitely want to know how it turns out for you guys. If you guys like this video, you found it to be helpful, definitely give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I definitely would like to hear how it turned out for you guys. And as always, for those who are not subscribed, do not forget to subscribe and let your friends and family know about this channel so they can benefit from it as well. See how nice and soft it is. It's not hard or rough. The kids would love it. You would love it. And of course, do not forget to follow me, you guys, on my Instagram at Maan647. I do post pictures on there and future, videos. So definitely subscribe and check it out. So till we see each other again, Assalamu alaikum.